Week 14 is officially in the books. We got two Monday night games last night. Both very telling, very interesting, those two games. And also, we want to talk about the death of E3. Let's get it. All right. Like I said, we had two Monday night games last night. And both of them were really, really interesting. First of all, neither one of the teams I picked won. Let's just throw that out there. But I think we got a first. I first want to talk about the Giants Packers. First of all, the Packers kind of disappointed me because I thought they were going to come out, do their thing. But I did say the Giants, they have an opportunity to play spoiler here. Like, it wouldn't surprise me. And weirdly, even more weird, is that mathematically, the Giants are still in it. Now, they play the Eagles twice within their last four games. Um, they also play the Saints and the Rams, who both are still in the playoff race themselves. The Rams are still trying to get possibly has a chance to get the NFC South, which is pretty much up for grabs. All three teams are 6-7. Tampa, Atlanta, and New Orleans. They're all 6-7. So that division's up for grabs. And then, like I said, they played the Eagles twice. Do I think they could beat the Eagles those games, at least one of those games? After their last night, and I will say the last few weeks, maybe, man. Maybe. Like, DeVito's doing his thing, man. DeVito's out here doing his thing. I got to give him some credit. He's not putting up crazy numbers, but he's managing the game. They're getting dubs. Saquon had 2 touchdowns last night. Uh, but man, and their defense isn't looking too bad. They're not looking too bad, man. We find out the Giants gonna try to sneak in just a little bit, just trying to sneak in. But as for the Packers, like I said, I'm a little bit disappointed in Green Bay because I expected them to take control of that game, and they just never really did. And they lost 24-22 was the final score. It went down to the wire. But shout out to DeVito, shout out to the Giants. As much as I hate to say it, I mean they're they keeping their slim playoffs hopes alive. To be honest, the way the NFC has been going, the way the season's been going, you just never know, man. It's the unpredictability I think that I love the most. But the other game, the Titans and Dolphins. Now that result was way more shocking than the Packers Giants game. It doesn't surprise me that the Giants won, even though I picked the Packers in that game. But obviously, Tyreek Hill is such a weapon for Miami. They're a completely different team when he's not on the field. He got banged up at some point in the game. I didn't watch the game in full. I caught basically the second halves of both games. I was sleeping, but it's a whole other story. But Tyreek Hill obviously is a huge weapon, obviously, and when he's not in the game, they are a different team. Miami is, and them losing that game last night was very, very interesting. I really stunned actually. I thought Miami was gonna because I think they weren't they like 14-point favorites or something in there, I believe, in that game. But nonetheless, Hopkins had a huge game, 120 yards and a TD. Um, Mostert, who I will say helped out my fantasy team. I woke up and I was down about 15 points. I had Mostert and Jordan Love as my final two players. I was down by like 15. Mostert got a touchdown at the end to kind of help your girl. So I did win my fantasy game. I had to just throw that in there. Tua didn't score. Yeah, 240 yards. He didn't score. But Will Levis did his thing. 300, 320 in the touchdown. He had a pick as well. Henry had 2 touchdowns. He only had 30 yards, but we know how Henry is. He's gonna get his touchdowns. Like, he doesn't have to get the yards to go with it. That's just how Derrick Henry rolls. He's Derrick Henry. He can do what he wants. But nonetheless, man, I'm kind of disappointed in Miami, man. I thought they were going to come out. They were going to get this game. It's going to be pretty easy. But, hey, You still got to play the games, and that's why I love sports, because we could all sit here and predict. We can all sit here and have our opinions about it. They still have to play the games. This is why the number one seed for any sport doesn't always win the championship. It happens all the time, especially with like football and like NCAA basketball, where it's one and done. It's one game could literally end your season. So the Dolphins right now, I believe that put them in second place in the AFC, um, behind Baltimore. Baltimore is on track to pretty much have the AFC go through Baltimore, but we have to kind of talk about something else real quick. Um, we all heard Mahomes and how he acted after the game. He has since apologized because he knows that he was wrong, and the way he acted was not like him. And it's Andy Reid as well. But they both kind of apologize and realize, maybe you should be like getting on those receivers that you have that are dropping passes every play. I feel like if he doesn't throw to Kelsey, he's really not sure whether his receivers are going to catch balls or not. That sounds crazy. That statement is crazy, but you get what I'm saying. But nonetheless, it's like your receivers have been dropping passes all season. It's a big reason why they're only 8-5. They've definitely had games where they could have won. They could easily have like 11, 12 wins right now. Their receivers have been dropping passes all year. They were dropping passes all that game. But man, it's like, at least I will say at least that he came out and apologized. Also, like him and Josh Allen were like dapping it up at the end, and he just was complaining about it to Josh Allen's ear. Like, Josh Allen don't give a shit. They just won. He doesn't care. But yeah, at least he came out, realized that he was wrong, apologized, and all that stuff. So at least I'll give Mahomes that. At least he realized that it was the right call, regardless of how you wanted the result to turn out. It was the right call for sure. Like I said, I won my fantasy game. Last night. Shout out to my boy Mostert, who came through for me at the end there. I think he scored a touchdown late that kind of helped out. But I'm in the playoffs. I do play a game this week. It's pretty much an even game here. I have Josh Allen, and Josh Allen. Amon-Ra St. Brown has been kind of inconsistent for me, but I'm gonna keep him in there. Nasia, I believe that's how you say his name, the wide receiver for the Rams. Gonna probably play him. Keep them all in there. Mostert staying. Brees Hall. Ferguson, who's I have Kyle Pitts. I drafted Kyle Pitts, and he hasn't really been doing much until recently. But Jake Ferguson, it seems like he's starting to get more into the Cowboy offense. So yeah, Jake's gonna be pretty much my play for tight end. And then my flex position, I want to play Love. They are playing Tampa, but I also have Alan Thielen, who has been putting up decent numbers. Garrett Wilson, I think, might be my move. They're playing Miami. It's a division game for the Jets, and I think that might be the move. That might be the move to go ahead and play Wilson there, because he even though sometimes the Jets struggle, he actually plays at least well enough. Did he have a touchdown last week? I don't think he had a touchdown last week, but he had like 100 yards or something. So I might throw Wilson in there. But yeah, I am by like projections early. I'm not favorite to win this game. I'm a 42% chance of winning this game. But we know how fantasy be. It could change game to game, week to week. Injuries happen, things happen. So he has Deebo Samuel, the person I'm playing, and Patrick Mahomes. So, and Kelsey. Gosh, I don't think I'm gonna win this one, but we'll see. And like the Chiefs are playing New England. Deebo's been on a tear lately. Dude's been killing it, especially fantasy wise. So, and San Fran as a whole has been doing their thing. I'm gonna preview those games, all the upcoming week games, in tomorrow's episode. Seems like I'm doing this on a daily, so we're just gonna keep this rocking and rolling. Or either tomorrow or the next episode, whenever, if it's Wednesday or Thursday. I'm definitely gonna try to get those picks in before the Thursday game. But we'll take a break. We're gonna come back. We're gonna get into some gaming news. We've lost a great event. If you're a gamer, you know what's up. Um, but E3 is officially no more. Officially, it's been kind of off and on for the past few years, but it's officially no more. After we come back from the break, I'll talk about that. All right, we're back. I E3, man. E3. I just for my gamers out there, man. We all were excited for E3 every year. The last few years has definitely been not as rewarding as usual years, or past years. I never had the chance to go, but I will say, even as a viewer, that week, that week in early June when you knew, games were going to get announced, systems were going to get announced, you're going to see all the press conferences and all that stuff, all the game previews, whatever, demos, whatever you want to call them. E3 was huge. I remember like when G4 was a thing. If you know what G4 is, you know what's up. They did try to make a comeback like a few years ago. It just wasn't the same. We all remember like Attack of the Show and X Play. And even when they weren't doing like gaming stuff, which is usually, I feel like that was their main kind of thing. You would wake up at like 4 or 5 in the morning and cops would be on. or cheaters, all those shows. We know what's up. But E3, man, it was so big every year, getting excited for that first week, hearing about new games, new trailers, new systems, all the rumors coming up to leading up to it. We had great moments that happened. We had a lot of cringe moments that happened. That, man, it's sad, man. I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm a little sad, but I'm not surprised. Um, like I said, the last few years it's been kind of shaky for E3. A lot of different companies didn't even do like a press conference. I know Sony hasn't really been doing one for them in years. They kind of just do their own like kind of press conference. Same thing with, I think, like Nintendo kind of stopped as well. Um, but man, it was a good ride, man. It was a good ride. It was a good ride. That is I will say, the one convention that I really did want to at least experience once. Like I said, I never got to experience it, but even as a viewer at home, because of like places like G4, um, and IGN and all the different game companies or game magazines, whatever, they definitely made you feel like you were there. They would, G4 was like almost literally like 24-hour coverage. It felt like. They were talking about whatever new games are coming up. They were talking about new systems that were coming up. They would give you game like previews and demos. It was just a good time. It was a good time, and I will say that it's a little upsetting to see it gone. Um, but it was something that I think we all knew was coming. I don't think it's something that is shocking to anyone. So, um, but yeah, rest easy, E3, man. Good times. Thanks for all the memories. Seriously, like I said, as a gamer, man, it was a big event. It was like Christmas for for gamers, I guess. Like especially because it's the time of year. Because it used to happen like the first like week in June, week or two in June. Um, so that whole week it would just be exciting. But yeah, it sucks to see it go. It sucks to see it go. But I think I don't really have anything else to talk about. Really, kind of really just it's kind of chill day. Like I said, sports were kind of chill. Um, but like I said, this show is going to be more than me just talking sports. I know a lot of people who have been listening to this. A lot of my friends and stuff don't really watch sports or care too much, but I do appreciate anybody who's took a time to listen or even just follow me on Spotify. I appreciate the love, honestly. Um, but I think we're gonna just end it here. We're gonna end it here. But like I said, follow me on all the socials. Big Mama Stuff everywhere. Uh, TikTok is Big Mama Stuff _ Make sure you remember that underscore, because that's me. Gonna be try to post content on there as much as I can. Same thing on my Instagram, Twitter, or X. Don't be afraid to come by the Twitch, because we have fun there. Uh, I'm gonna be doing a 12-hour stream soon, celebrating 1,200 follows. 1,200. What the fuck did I say? 1,200. 1,500 follows. What is wrong with me? I said 12 because I'm planning to do a 12-hour stream to celebrate said 1,500 follows. There we go. We got it. But nonetheless, if you enjoy just like good vibes, we try to have fun and stuff, and get a great community and stuff. So don't be afraid to come over there, say what's up. Twitch.tv/Big Mama Stuff. But yeah, go get out of here. Love your faces. Stay beautiful. See you in the next one. Remember to drink your water, check on the homie, and remember you're loved. Peace.